Unsure when to change your training program? Here is 4 tips to know when to do so. Tip number 1.
When you cannot progressive overload in any shape or form, or you start to almost go backwards in your training. So that might mean you cannot increase the weight anymore and your reps start decreasing and you physically just hit a plateau. Tip number 2.
You can still progress, but your form is getting shit. Your form is breaking down. So let's say you had a specific tempo in your exercise, for example, 3 seconds on the way down. You now no longer to adhere to that tempo. That 3 seconds down is now a 1 second down. You are not going full range. You are using some sort of momentum, dumbbell lat raise, swinging the weights at the bottom, cheating your reps. So you feel like you're still progressing. But if you actually record yourself and compare the week 1 with the week that you are in now, the technique is completely gone. Looks like a completely different exercise. This is a sign that you are now ready to get your new training program. Tip number 3.
You're physically sore, you're unable to progress, you are always tired, there's nothing left in the tank for you to push. And so therefore, you're probably likely needing a deload. And so that's the chance for you to almost drop back the intensity, allow the inflammation and your body to almost have that recovery period and inflammation to dissipate. So therefore you can now go into a new training block with a refreshed body and mindset as well, because recovery is super important.
Yeah.
Point number 4.
The point that I'm about to say is working only if you've kept your training program for at least 6 weeks. The lack of motivation and the boredom of your training program. So you're very unmotivated to train because you know that you're gonna have to do the same thing again. You're not motivated to go to the gym. You're just bored to repeat the same thing again and again. After 6 weeks, it starts to be very repetitive and you feel like you need something fresh again in order to get that extra motivation, because we know that whenever we get our new training program, we're always so motivated to go and hit the gym.
Yeah, it's like training morale though as well, isn't it? It's like if you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to push the intensity, you're going to train harder, as opposed to if you're like, oh, I've got to go and train. Of course, there's exercises that you may not always love, and there will always be those. But you generally want to be like challenged and excited to go and do it. But if you're getting to a point where you're like, I'm over it, then you're not going to be putting in that effort.
100%.
And if you've got to that point, like Laurie said, where you have got 6 weeks in, perhaps you just need a little bit of a change.
Yeah. So to wrap up, all these points works hand in hand. So it's not because you're like, oh, I'm bored, that you can change your training program. Ask yourself, okay, can I still progress? Am I about to get injured because I'm trying to keep pushing, but the technique is not there anymore? So if you say yes to all the tips that we've just said, then chances are that you need a new training program.
Yes, there you go. Hope that helps.